Magandang umaga, bansang Pilipinas, sinibak na sa pwesto ang hepe na ng CIDG Region 8 Director Superintendent Marvin Marcos ilang araw matapos ang questionableng pagsalakay ng grupo ng CIDG Region 8 sa Baybay Sub-Provincial Jail na ikinasuwi ni Albuera Leyte Mayor Rolando Espinosa Sr. at isa pang inmate. Ayon kay Chief Inspector Maria Belia Rentuaya, Information Officer ng Police Regional Office Eastern Visayas, ipinag-utos ng CIDG Headquarters sa Campo Crame ang pagsasailalim sa administrative relief kay Marcos matapos ang operasyon ng kanyang mga tauhan noong Sabado. Paliwanag ng opisyal, bahagi ng Standard Operating Procedure ang pagsibak sa pwesto kay Marcos habang isinasagawa ang investigasyon sa kontrobersyal na raid ng CIDG 8. Sinabi pa nito na nagpalabas na rin ng guideline ang National Headquarters na nagbibilin sa kanilang mga tauhan na iwasang magbigay ng anumang komento o haka-haka hinggil sa insidente habang isinasagawa ang investigasyon. Noong linggo, dumating na rin sa Leyte ang grupo ng CIDG mula sa National Headquarters upang mag-imbestiga sa pagkakapatay kay Mayor Espinosa at sa kapwa inmate nito na si Raul Yap.
Natanggap ng mga kaanak at taga-suporta ni Albuera Leyte Mayor Rolando Espinosa ang pagkamatay nito habang nakakulong. Imposible raw ang paratang na may baril ito at sinubukan manlaban. Para sa update, umaaksyon live mula Leyte si Gary De Leon. Gary.
Rafi, patuloy nga ang pagdating ng mga kababayan natin sa burol ni Mayor Rolando Espinosa sa Albuera, Leyte. Pero karamihan sa kanila ay hindi naniniwalang nanlaban ito. Bagkus, ito'y paraan daw para patahimikin ng Mayor sa mga nalalaman pa nito patungkol sa droga. Bumiyay paggaling ng Cebu ang pamilya ng napatay na si Albuera Mayor Rolando Espinosa Sr. para dumalo sa burol ng alkalde. Para sa kanila, hindi katanggap-tanggap ang pagkamatay nito. Ayon kay Albuera Chief of Police Jovi Espinido, bago pa lamang dalhin sa Baybay Sub-Provincial Jail ang alkalde, natatakot na ito. Lalo na nang ilabas na ang kanyang affidavit na nagdidiin kay Senator Laila de Lima, Leyte Governor Dominico Petilla, Vice Governor Loreto de la Victoria, at Baybay Leyte Vice Mayor Mike Cari, nasangkot sa payola ng droga ng anak na si Kerwin Espinosa. Ipinagtataka rin ng PNP Region 8 kung bakit isinikreto ng CIDG Region 8 ang paghahain ng search warrant sa alkalde.
I have ordered for the conduct of impartial investigation to be headed by our regional internal affairs service, just to see or to ensure if the provisions of our police operational procedures were followed.
Ang mga gwardiya naman ng Baybay Sub-Provincial Jail, tila hinostage daw ng mga operatiba ng CIDG. Pinadapa, kinuhanan ng armas at tinutukan ng baril ang mga gwardiya at 4 na pulis para lamang mapasok ang selda ni Mayor Espinosa at isa pang preso na si Raul Yap.
Kuan sir, ditong gita to, dalawa ang chain dyan, tapos pinutol na sa taas. Yung sa baba, hindi na kaya na nila na putulin, pinirsa nila pinagsaka nila sa bolt cutter.
Pero ang hindi matanggap ng mga gwardiya, ang mga nakumpiska raw na droga at baril sa selda ng alkalde at niya. Katatapos lamang daw nilang mag-oplan galugad. Kaya imposible raw na may kontrabando sa loob.
Yung hindi namin na matanggap sir dito sa jail, sa Baybay, dito sa jail namin, yung drugs, saka baril. Wala talagang drugs dyan eh.
Sa palagay ko, nilagay nila siguro yun.
Ang ebidensya sana ng mga gwardiya nakuha ng CCTV, tinangay din umano ng CIDG.
Ano, nag-deny pa silang hindi nila dinala. Yung ano ba yung tawag niyan? Hard drive, oh yun.
Sa inilabas namang autopsy report ng PNP Region 7, posibleng binaril daw ng nakahiga si Espinosa.
4 yung tama niya. Tapos isa yung nag-exit talaga, 3 yung na-recover na slugs. Ang sabi ng doctor, may possibility, kasi nga dun sa tama ng bala, may possibility na it's either nakahiga siya at the time na binaril siya or tumumba na siya, tas binaril ulit.
Paniwala ng pamilya Espinosa, sinadyang patayin ng mayor. Kapihanda naman daw patotohanan ng mga jail guards sa korte ang kanilang salaysay patungkol nga sa nangyaring raid ng CIDG. Pero ang CIDG hanggang sa ngayon ay hindi sumasagot sa sinasabi nga ng mga jail guard. Samantalang ang NBI Manila ay papasok na nga dito sa Baybay Provincial Jail para simulan na ang investigasyon patungkol nga sa pagkasawi ni Mayor Espinosa. At
Offhand, are you seeing any violation in the procedure?
Yes, there are violations in the procedure, but we still have to get the facts straight from the ground.
But it's the witness's account. I understand, of course, to be
Yes.
very fair to both of you, that you're still going to look into this and have the facts and the testimonies possibly
Yes.
on writing and verbal. But when you see something like that you have inmates already telling you and us what happened, is there room to doubt that?
As what I've said, we still have to get the information straight from the ground. If there are information given by the inmates, we already have the affidavits of these inmates with us already.
Do you have the affidavits already?
Yes,
How
we have
many?
affidavits. I was not informed as to how many, but we have affidavits of the inmates, affidavits of the jail guards, and affidavits of the PNP personnel involved on that particular incident, those that were assigned in the detention cell.
Also members of the CIDG Region 8 team.
As to the CIDG, since they are no subject of the investigation, their affidavits will come only after the referral of our case to the pre-charge investigation,
I
wherein they will be
see.
given the chance to submit their counter affidavit.
So you only have the inmates.
Yes.
What else? Who else? Sorry.
The inmates, the jail guards,
The jail
and the PNP personnel assigned to the detention. So we get information, and then for them to answer, we have the counter affidavit.
Got it. Okay, Colonel, what
Yes,
about you?
the revelation by these witnesses is a welcome for us in the investigation. We will reduce that also into writings and affidavits that will be part of our investigation. Our team from the National Headquarters sent by Police Chief Superintendent Ruel Ubusan flew last Sunday morning to supervise the ongoing investigation, the PNP part of the investigation, look at the official after operation report of the operating team, the subject of the operation, the subject of the investigation, and then while there, getting also the statement coming from other witnesses. So at the end of the day, we would like to ferret out the truth, and those who have committed mistakes or wrongdoings will answer for this.
The men involved in the Region 8 team that was involved in this, how many were they?
There are 13 CIDG 8 personnel, and they were supported by 13 CIDG, and there were 8 from the Regional Maritime Unit 8 that supported that team from the CIDG.
Where are the 13 now, and what is their status?
Yes, they are restricted in their movement. They are limited to be in their offices as ordered by Police Chief Superintendent Ruel Ubusan, and also they will be they should make themselves available for the investigation which is ongoing.
Again, I will say that I understand that you can't really say much yet, but let's just look at what is in the handbook or the policies and procedures of the PNP. So let me ask you this. Is it normal for example, any member of the police force to serve a search warrant, number one, in jail? Attorney.
Yeah, there is no restriction as to where you're supposed to serve your search warrant. However, there are restrictions as to what time, provided it is provided in the search warrant that it can be done at nighttime. It should be specific.
Yeah, it can be done nighttime.
Yes, sir.
So
Yes,
what
ma'am.
you're saying, attorney, is that in the search warrant, will it have to say that? What does it have to say? That it is you are allowed to serve the search warrant between 2 a.m. to 4 a.m. Ganun ba
I will
yun?
give you the specific provision under the POP of the PNP.
But I hope it's something we can understand.
Yes,
Okay.
of course. The time to search, the warrant should be served during daytime. This is a general provision unless there is a provision in the warrant allowing service at any time of the day and night.
So what are we supposed to? I mean, ganito po yun. Let's say, Papa, how do you understand it? It's supposed to be during daytime, but it could warrant any other time. That's basically what it's saying. Where is it supposed to say that it is allowed any other time?
In the warrant.
In the search warrant.
Yes.
Okay.
Our police officer will follow the order of the court. So if it's stated therein in the said warrant, then they will perform it according to the provisions of such warrant issued by the court.
Did it say in that search warrant carried by the
that
Region
will
8?
be part of the. These are documentary evidence that can be part. That will be part of the
Have you
investigation.
seen the search warrant, Colonel?
Not yet. It is in the hands of the investigators. There's
Attorney,
Yes, same.
you haven't seen it.
We haven't seen it, but it will be forwarded to our office because we are closely monitoring these incidents.
Well, you know, I asked that obviously because that's foremost in everybody's mind. Why serve a search warrant at 4 a.m.? That's why my first question was, is it okay to serve it in jail? Number two, is it okay to serve it and besides, what time was it served? Was it 2 a.m., 3 a.m., or 4 a.m.?
Okay. That's the reason we have the provision of the law. That there is specific, that it should be provided under the search warrant, then it's okay.
Attorney, I'll ask you and Colonel, in your years of service in the PNP, has there been such a search warrant served at 4 a.m. inside jail? Would you remember anything?
I cannot recall one being in the jail facility, but that's part of the investigation. Being done early in the morning, yes, many times it's being done early in the morning because the element of surprise must be on the side of the authorities to prevent the subject of the search to be able to hide or destroy the subject of the search.
Again, that is what the head of the Region 8 is saying of the CIDG, Marcos. He's saying that they really wanted to have that element of surprise. That's why it was served at such an odd time.
Yes, I think that's the one consideration that they placed in their operation plan. However, iba-iba bawat isang operation. So it's a judgment call. It's a decision made by the commander at that time.
So it's clear that that is not unusual.
That is not unusual at all because the person to be searched is inside the detention cell and he got a search warrant coming from the court. Then where are you supposed to serve it? Of course, to the detention cell.
Right. I brought that up, Attorney and Colonel, is because the Albuera Police Chief is saying, it's been very hard and very strict in that as a sub-provincial jail that even he cannot bring in, number one, his firearm, number two, even his cell phone. So he had a different take on it. I mean, in terms of at least him saying that ang stricto ng sub-provincial jail na yan, na hindi makakapasok ng baril si Mayor Espinosa dyan sa kulungan na yan.
Yet to be investigated.
Okay.
We still have to know the circumstances. How come that he was able to have a gun inside the detention cell?
If true.
If true, yes.
Colonel.
Yes, we'll take into account the statement coming from the Albuera PNP chief. Of course, nangyari ito, kaya nga we are doing the investigation. We will investigate prior, during the operation, and the result. So we'll cover everything and make sure that we come up with the true incident, the result of the incident.
Attorney,